From the field to the court to the ice, women have changed the game. From the moment Congress passed the federal gender equity law, also known as Title IX, female athletes have hurdled over barriers, not allowing themselves to stay rooted in the norm. When this law was established, women represented more than 90% of coaching positions amongst women's college teams. But almost 50 years later, that number has decreased to a mere 40%. If the playing field was leveled for female athletes, why should it be any different for female coaches? If I'm not mistaken, basketball is just basketball, right? So if there's only one rule book governing the game, why has recession rather than progression been the narrative?
I went to college and I had a very mild understanding of my position as a female athlete. And when I became a coach, I started to understand more just how second class of citizens we really were.
I'm pre-Title IX, so, I was a part of that group where, almost all coaches of women's sports were women, and now obviously part of a culture where it's hard. It's hard to find women head coaches, to be honest with you, in particular in some of the sports.
Predominantly, athletic directors are predominantly white men, and white men hire white men. And it's not me making that up, it's a statistic. And so we hire people who look like us.
If we only hired people that look like us and talk like us and grew up like us, first of all, I think it'd be incredibly boring. And two, I think you grow the most when you're around people that are different than you are.
The proof is not always in the pudding. Sometimes it's in the numbers. Today, women hold only 40% of all head coaching jobs for women's teams. When this law was enacted, women's sports began to grow, but so did the money, power, and prestige. The door that had opened for positions at renowned universities caught the attention of men too. Women were not solely sought out anymore.
No matter how much male figures and men and dads want to advocate, it's still impossible for them to be able to understand what it's like to walk around in our shoes and to be able to see that perspective. So it's not just about, it is about strong female role models and having that, but it's someone being able to illuminate to you to what you don't have, or maybe what you didn't have before but you have now, and instilling that level of appreciation.
From a woman's standpoint, to be able to say, look, I am a living, breathing example of what we're trying to make you one day. We want you to be highly ambitious. You can be feminine. You can be fierce. You can be competitive. You can be beautiful. You can have it all. And it's not just a man's world anymore. You can do all these things, and look at me. Hopefully I'm embodying that for you so you can envision yourself like this one day. You don't just have to have a role model that's necessarily a man, because you can't be a man. You can be a feminine, fierce woman who can rule the world one day.
Same-sex role models are important for a lot of reasons. One, it provides visible proof of success. It can lead to more positive self-perceptions, such as self-esteem and confidence. Girls being coached by same-sex role models, meaning women, are more likely to go into coaching.
So you want a variety to bring different elements. If you have the same individual multiplied by 20, you're not going to get the different dynamics that could potentially come across on your team, because you have student athletes that come from different backgrounds. And to be able to show them there's leadership opportunities and different opportunities for them as they grow, and whether or not they want to go into coaching or not, that there is that opportunity whether or not you came from one background or another.
The question becomes, can this person be successful at San Jose State? That's what I want to know. Mm-hmm. Can this person really meet the goals that I have for our student athletes and meet their own professional goals at San Jose State? That is more of the important question to me than bring me the most qualified candidate.
If you thought the number of female head coaches was trivial, have you ever wondered about female Division I athletic directors?
Did you prepare to be an athletics director? And I said I never thought I'd be one. There's only 9 of us out of 130, and it'll be 2 years in May 17th, that I became the athletics director here. And during that time, there's still only been 9. There was never a path of opportunity for me to see. Now, I clearly remember in my 30s believing that I could be an athletics director. I can do this job, you know. I'm just as good as the people, to be honest with you, that I was blessed to be around and to be mentored by.
Men know a lot of men. They do. Sports is a really male-dominated community. It just is. Like, let's be honest. It has been historically. Women are catching up. But historically, it's been a really male-dominated. So a lot of men are going to know a lot of men. You know, I think the more women we can retain, a lot of women are going to know a lot of women. And there's going to become balance there. We're still in process.
There's a sense that in order to manage a large football program, 2 things. Number 1, you have to be a man. Well, I'm 0 for 1. And number 2, you have to have played football. So now I'm 0 for 2. But to think that a woman can't command a room of 100 football players and coaches is not only disrespectful to women, but I think more importantly, it's disrespectful to men. That men wouldn't take direction from a woman. And I think that's really kind of an important concept. And men, we talk about women supporting women, sisters supporting sisters, which is crucial to me. But I need men to support me. And that's why I'm so thankful to the men that I've worked with that have, brought me along. Men are the key to giving women opportunity in athletics. Men are the answer to hiring women head coaches. It's not women supporting, it is women supporting women. But I think sometimes we forget to realize how important men are in moving women forward.
In 10 years, I hope we get there before that, but I would at least like half, I'd really like probably 60 to 70% of all college women to be coached by women. And I'd also like to see 20 to 25% of men being coached by women. So when you look across coaching staffs and men's and women's teams, you see more gender diversity. And I think along with that, I'd also like to see more college athletic departments be places that explicitly value and support women.
For my athletes, I want them to be the person in the boardroom that when they have an idea, no matter who's in the room, no matter what gender's in the room, no matter what pay scale is in the room, that they're able to feel enough belief in themselves that what they have to say is valuable, that what they have to contribute and what they know can be helpful to any team that they're working on. And that also, I think, translates over to an ability and belief in yourself to go in and ask for the raise and say, this is why I'm worth it and this is why I deserve this.
We can acknowledge that Title IX was a catalyst for women's sports. But despite several success stories, it has not simply been just about X's and O's for female coaches. That is not because of the lack of ability, but because of the lack of visibility. Most young girls and women grow up without the knowledge that coaching is a career path they can fairly pursue. But a woman's voice matters. Having gender diversity matters. To be able to look up and see a face or a body that looks like your own is powerful, because it allows one to believe that they too can fit those shoes. We are conditioned during adolescence that the road only goes 2 ways, normal and abnormal, that the world enlarges for boys and shrinks for girls. But if we address the gender inequity at the level of youth, those young kids will see that they too can become a coach like Becky Carlson, join the front office like Megan Miller, or even become a university's first female athletic director like Marie Tuitt.